Hi, I'm Eric, and this is the first episode of Going Deep, a show where I talk to actors, musicians, writers, directors, creatives of all kinds to learn more about them and their craft. And in this episode, I'm talking to YouTuber and podcaster Dion Davis. He talks about what it was like to reinvent himself when he moved from Philadelphia to New Jersey at the age of 11. We also talk about how he got started on YouTube back in 2007, the struggles of being a small creator, his production company, the struggles of working with friends, and his upcoming wedding. So, to hear all of that and more, just keep watching. So, Dion, thanks for doing this, man. Thanks
No
for being
problem.
here. I appreciate it. I want to get, into everything, but before we talk about like the past and you're starting out on YouTube and everything, I want to ask you because next month you're getting married, which
hmm
is exciting. I just want to know like how long you've been dating your soon-to-be spouse. When did you know you were gonna marry this person? How did it feel leading up to the proposal?
We've been together since 2013. When I was in college, my first go at college. And over the years, we've had our ups and downs over the years. That's how relationships be. But um, we're getting married on August 5th, so that's something that I'm excited for. And we've been engaged for 4 years. I proposed to her, or like it was like a more of a half and half proposal. That was back around April of 2019, and this is like before the pandemic, the
Right.
before the mask. So
Yeah.
it was a lot going on during that time, 2019, 2020, 2021. So there was a lot of things going on with her family, some things going on with mine, and it kept, we kept putting it aside, doing the marriage thing, and I think we like officially set everything up maybe about 2 3 months ago that we're just gonna just do it in August, and doing we're doing all the necessary steps to get the paperwork done, and that's where we're at. We're doing it. It's like what is a few weeks from now, so
Yeah.
it's
Just shy of a month, like three
yeah,
weeks,
it's
three and a half
something.
something.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. So you've been planning this wedding, you said like 2 to 3 months?
more
About?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've never been engaged, I've never been married. In movies and stuff, it's always like they spend like months or like a year planning this. Has that, did you, as you've been planning it, are you like, why is it in movies they take so long? It's so easy? Or doing it in this time, it's like real fast, like everything's steamrolled?
Well, it only seemed fast because it was just brought up to me like, yeah, we're gonna do it in August. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I just said, all right, cool. I agree. But it got to a point where originally we were going to just do like the whole courthouse thing, but then my fiance had a change of heart. She wanted to have an actual wedding, family and friends. Because it's gonna be really small, just small friends and family, and I guess like a light reception here at my house or somewhere like a few days or a week later. Um, but the original plan was just to go to the courthouse. Now, in movies and TV, they make it seem like it's big because they have like a what is it, a wedding planner, and then it's like, oh, you have
Yeah,
all
the
the in-laws and
flowers
yeah.
and yeah, and
But
the
in this
venue
case,
and yeah.
yeah, but in this case, it was little bit different because it was like, we already at this point we should have done it already. I mean, we've been together, coming up 10 years soon. I mean, in a few months, so we've been together for almost 10 full years, and
Wow.
it's been a journey.
For anyone who hasn't been in a relationship that long or any kind of serious relationship, yeah, like what are your thoughts on being with someone for 10 years and all the, like you said, the ups and downs and you as a person changing and them changing?
Yeah, if someone says, "Oh, we've been together for like since elementary school, or we've been together since middle school, and no problems ever came up, I call BS. It's like, you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it, I'm not gonna say that our journey has been like the best. It hasn't. It has been like a lot of heartbreak, tears, sadness, anger. It's been a lot up and down. But like how people. I'm trying to use analogies and I can't even freaking figure it out. But you if you work something, you work things out if you really want to work for it. If you
Mm-hmm.
believe in it, you work for it, and that
Mm-hmm.
applies to friendships, relationships, jobs, all that. If you put the time and energy into it, and you're passionate about it, and you know that this is what you want to do, put put all your eggs in a basket. Like, that's. But if somebody says that their whole entire relationship has been perfect, constantly, I can take it with a grain of salt. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody's life is the same. Some people's lifestyle are like they are about that person and only for that person, and that can lead down to like people growing up in like a religious situation, or in a situation, I don't know, like wherever they're living at the time. Like, maybe that's their thing. Now, people's lives are not the same how it was back in the 50s, or the early in the days where like you had to court someone,
Sure.
you had to ask the
Traits of
father to date.
livestock.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
life has drastically changed since then to now. But it's a journey. It's been a journey though.
So, like you said, putting all your eggs in your basket, like you have committed to this person. Um, but like you said, there are ups and downs. Have you ever, did you ever think, like, you know what, th- there are a lot of ups and downs, but like this is not working out. We should call it, or if you did think that, like, what made it where you didn't, and now you're getting married to them.
Not really. It just depends, and usually that thought will come up during those times. Like if you're like if you if you're going to a break or anything, that sometimes go through your mind. Like, it was at a point where when we were on a break at one point where I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I was going through a whole lot of mental, emotional stuff, and this is and some of my friends will say like 2016, 2017, like that's when I was in my prime, where I was like I was just doing anything, and I feel like it has happened occasionally, like within our like early stages of our relationship. Like 2015 wasn't really a good thing for me, but 2016 and 2017 in our relationship, and also just with my friends as well, wasn't really fully there. And this was around the time where I'm like second guessing, like, why am I putting myself in part, why am I doing all this just to have friends and haven't been in a relationship or whatever the case is. But what came out of it after all that crazy stuff that happened, what is it now, like 6 7 years ago, 8 years ago, it kind of formed who I am today and who I'm still friends with, because my friends group used to be rather large. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're like kind of condensed. Like, one of my friends who occasionally is on one of my podcasts, like he's a problematic person, and I say problematic by he caused a lot of issues in the friend group. And it's not really with just him. It was just maybe like his girlfriends or people that he associated himself with, that kind of trickled down into our vocabulary and into our everyday conversations. And then that just starts creating this thing where you're hearing the same thing over and over and over again, and it gets pretty annoying. And I helped him out at one point, um, uh, like back in 2020, and it's just I feel like I shouldn't have helped him, but I mean, he was a friend, and these relationships, these friends, the people I associated myself with, like, they're still here, and I'm happy for that. It just depends. Everything depended on the outcome, and it seemed like every single time, we had ups or downs in my relationship or my friendships, we somehow found a way to forget it, and take whatever happened in the past as a grain of salt, because people make mistakes, and you move on.
Yeah, it sounds like you're someone who doesn't just cut people out of their
I
lives.
tried.
And I know that's sometimes the easy way of either ghosting someone or just being like, hey, you mildly inconvenienced me, I'm out. Would you say that, because you said you were in your prime and you were kind of doing whatever, if you want to speak on that at all, but would you say that whether you, that growing period that everyone is in their teens, 20s, like whole life really, would you say all of that has led you to where you are currently?
Um, I mean, everything has gotten me here to my. I bought a house. I mean, it's not the best place, but I have a house. Before I was living in a you can consider it a hallway, but it was an apartment, and most of that was like I wanted to have a space where it's mine, and then I want to have a space where I can share it with my fiance, and then eventually like I can somehow find happiness. And I had to go. I went. Eventually, it got to a point where I had to go to therapy, and I only went to therapy because I was told to. At one point, I didn't go for me. I went for the fact that my relationship was in a little bit in a rocky area, and I needed to get work on myself because I was putting all my my baggage, my emotional baggage I had at the time. I still kind of have that now, but I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't want to. It sounded like every time something happened, I'm complaining, or I'm trying to find attention for for some reason, and a lot of the stuff that happened in 2016, 2017, it made me realize that the single life is complicated. It is. And it's like it doesn't work when you already were with someone at the time for like 3-4 years, and then you're like, okay, what's next? So then every single time you're like you're trying to associate yourself with another person, you're trying to find that person that you was with for the longest time in them, and then when you can't find that, you start getting mad because you're like you want to try to. Sometimes people get mad and go back to that person, or they'll try to form whoever they used to be with and the new person that they're with, and I got that. I didn't really have to form or had to do anything because the reason for our like break was because like school related things or job school related situations. So, and at the same time I'm like trying to find myself because I that was one reason why I had a lot of issues beforehand in the relationship, because I couldn't really, I was putting too much of my emotional time into my relationship and into my family instead of myself. So that was the main problem. I didn't have a lot of self respect. If the, yeah, I have a lot of self
Yeah.
respect. And
Or like your own identity, it sounds.
yeah, I had an identity, but I didn't. I felt like my purpose was to them, and my purpose
Oh,
wasn't for me.
okay.
So during the 2016 2017 time, I'm just trying to just find myself. I'm doing this, doing that, and then at the same time, I'm like I'm working on my production, for Avo, and that started changing things up for me, and then it got to a situation where I was slowly in and out of like being good friends with my fiance, with my girlfriend at the time, my fiance at the time, like with her, and we're all trying to figure out what we're doing, because like I'm occasionally helping her, going back and forth to pick her up to school, drop her back off down here, and it was just I was always there, even though we were on our break while we were working on ourselves, and it was just something. It was just something.
Yeah,
I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say, but yeah,
no,
it
no,
was
it's
just
all
something.
good. So to go back a little bit, you you moved from Philadelphia to New Jersey when you were 11?
Yeah, when my grandfather helped at the time. It was me, and my two little brothers at the time. Um, I don't really remember too much about what was going on. Originally, it was supposed to just be me and my little brother moving to New Jersey with my grandfather, to go to school because the place where we were living at, I think I think we my mom got I think we got evicted, or we were moving. We were like staying at like a family's house, and I think at the same time we were trying to move somewhere. I don't really remember too much. I just know that I just know around like 2004, 2005, it was just no, it was 2005. 2005. I just remember like, oh man, what was it? I think the day where I found out that we were like moving to Jersey. I think it was I remember I was watching the premiere of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Like that's how long ago it was.
What was it like moving to a totally different state at that age?
It was different because I growing up at the time where I was before I moved here, I was always like picked on. I was always like I always got, you know, bullied and all that. So when I moved to Jersey, I was trying to be somebody else. And it didn't really hurt me. It just it kind of it kind of made me look like an asshole because
What do you mean?
all right, so hold on. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna try my best to remember this because I remember it, but I don't fully remember it. So I move. I think. Oh, first of all, I had to take the fifth grade over again. So in 2004, the No Child Left Behind Act passed, and for some odd reason, junior high was never existed. So they had to put fifth grade back into elementary school, even though I was in a junior high school. Yada yada yada. So we're in 2005, my second go of school. So I actually left school mid semester when I was in Philadelphia, and when I moved to Jersey, I think it was like the end. It was before it was actually a winter break, so I came back in the beginning of January. So I'm go back there. Everybody sees me. I'm a new fresh face, and I think I'm meeting. Like I think it's just like maybe a week or 2 weeks since I'm there. I'm trying to get familiarized with like all these new people, and what was exactly that happened? I was in the cafeteria, and I had like a crush on this girl, and I was like, all right, I'm trying to like, I don't know what I want to do. I want to be like the one that's cool with all the girls, or I'm trying to be this bad kid or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to do a mixture of both, but because I never had like the mindset of a bully, because I have no reason to bully, because that was my main purpose. Why do people bully? Like, why do people pick on me? So I think I said something crazy, and then some kid threw some food at me, and there was a fight that happened. And then eventually it just started turning that I'm just like this kid who's just this weird, awkward, shy kid. So
It causes food fights. And
I created this character. Oh my god, yo, it was like a DJ Philly man or DJ Breezy, because like back then my name was I had a nickname called DJ Breezy. I don't know why. It was called DJ Brezzy. My first YouTube channel, before the one I had made in 2010, was DJ Breezy. So it was the one I made in 2007, 2008. So it was YouTube DJ Breezy, and I was just trying to do the same thing I was doing on this Dion 14, where like I'm just I was originally I was posting how to jailbreak iPod touches, and that was like my first video, and but back to the elementary thing, that was like the thing that I fully remember. I eventually got the girl, like last minute. Like I'm always that shy dude to do things last minute. So that happened. I was only there for a year, or I was only there for like half of a year, half the year anyway, because I already knew I was going to pass. I had to really focus on math. So like every single time I had a math teacher, like they really wanted to make sure I got it. Uh, Math was not my strong suit, but
Same.
um, but math kind of helped me out on where I'm at today. Which, if you want to know more about that, I'll explain it. But it's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, definitely want to get into that. I don't want to jump too far ahead. So you mentioned you had your first YouTube channel in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
You made This Is Dion 14 in 2010, right?
I made it. Where was I at the time? It was like a lot going on with my mom and my grandfather, so we moved. We had to go get. We went into public housing, and then we had to move to another part of South Jersey, and I had this idea with. Oh my God! If I say, all right, this is when you know that the time was the times. Okay, so you'll know what I'm about to say in a second. So before, at the time, I think I'm in like middle school, and I have this friend, Isaac and Henry. Like we were like real cool. Like we were just we were cool dudes, and I had the idea like, yo, we should make YouTube videos so that you're doing like pranks and skits and stuff. Cause he had a camcorder, and at the time everybody had one of those flip camcorders, the flip Johns. So everybody had those at the time, and I was really wanted to get these things done, but we never had a chance to fully like record or do anything. So I got a little bit mad because we started the channel called oh my God. It was called Afro Spix TV. Okay? Okay? Okay?
All right. Okay.
And you got to remember, this is the time where like you can say things like that and it'd be fine. But today, if this let's say this thing was going on now, it would not have worked. And the reason why I say that nobody cared or has said anything about it because I was the one who created our forum. You know how Smosh started, they make it a forum and page in 2002.
Yeah.
I had a forum. I had everybody signing up, go to afrospixtv.com. That's how crazy it was. And they did this, they signed up, they went to the YouTube channel. I was trying to do the same stuff I'm doing now in 2008, and it wasn't working. But the idea that I named this channel Afro Spix TV, it made me mad, and I explained it so many times. And once I like started realizing what it was, that it was me, an African American, an African guy, and a dude from Honduras. So we thought it was fine because we're the ones saying it. Okay, so oh man, it was that was a time. That was a time. Like that was that was middle school, man. That was middle school.
Which is a hard time anyway. And
Yeah.
then you're putting yourself out there with, yeah. So who or what inspired you to start making videos? You mentioned Smosh back in the day. Like, were they an inspiration? Or?
I've always been interested in media since I think my earliest thing. All right, what was it? 2001. So 2001, some stuff going on with my dad and yada yada yada. I think I was playing what was it? NBA Live 2001? No, it was NBA Live. The one with Allen Iverson on the cover. The first one on the PS1, not PS1, PS1. It's the one like the simplified one where they actually got rid of the number and put the number one, the wording one. So during that time, I think I'm like 6 or 7, and I was watching Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. And the thing that really amazed me was the animation that they'd used for Face. If you remember Face from Nick Jr., I think they brought him back for the new age Nick Jr. now. But when they transitioned from Nick Jr. to Nickelodeon, I was like, how did they do that? How did they do that? And I was like, at that point, that's where I got into graphics. But I've always enjoyed Power Rangers. Power Rangers, I always wanted to know, how do they do the transformations? Graphic design. So over time, like with the Teen Nick stuff and all that, I was like, how do they do this? I want to be the behind the scenes. I want to make a TV show. So that mindset kept coming with me every year, and that's why my career path has always been media. That's why it's always been entertaining. And then it kind of shifted in 2016 when I started Foavo, because originally at one point I was going to help everybody, but then I was dealing with some people that were helping. I was dealing with a guy who had this media thing called multimedia entertainment, MME. He had a bunch of people who do everything, video, graphics, all that. So I was one of the many who helped him out. Later down the line, we realized, it was a pyramid scheme, or it wasn't a pyramid scheme. He just said he took money from us. And I know I'm time skipping around, but
that's all right.
It was in 2016. I was working as a promoter at a club in Philadelphia, and oh my goodness, I really have to keep adjusting these things. I was working as a club promoter and also doing like graphics for him, but we didn't realize that we could have went directly to the guy who's in charge of like videos and photos. So we went around him because he was taking money from us. It was me and my friend my friend Vince, or he goes V's. So he like we both were doing like the same graphic design. I was doing a little bit more, he was doing a little bit more. So we were trying to get money because the guy who is taking care of all of this stuff with multimedia entertainment wasn't paying us what we were worth. And oh my God. So he kind of messed up my life a little bit at my old apartment I had, my first apartment, because he kind of just put like this person that I barely knew, and yo, can you help and let this person stay at your house? Stay at your apartment. I'm like, oh, sure. And that was around the time I was like really nice, go lucky. I was in a really good mood. Everything's good in life. Relationships good, friendships good. And then everything just went down the drain, like a few months later down the line.
Wow.
But it was it was a fun time working at MME. It was really fun. But I started to realize that my life is going to be media. I might sway away, start a job. I think the last time I talked to you, I was working at a water plant, and that was like the big thing. I wanted to get myself into like another career path and see how that works. That didn't work. So about sometime last year, I quit that job and I started working for a trucking company. And I got laid off back on my birthday on the 14th of April. Damn. And this is where we're at now. So that's like a little bit of like, here's that. But every single time something came up, I was trying to put my life back into my production, trying to get Foabo back up, started podcasts, trying to start it up again. I mean, once I start sharing this like around in the next few weeks or so, I'll see how that works. But it seems like podcast is the thing to go.
You kind of spoke about some growing pains of starting out on YouTube, and you're doing something, but then another channel that's bigger does something also similar, and that blows up, but your similar thing doesn't necessarily. Was there a video that you was there a video that you expected to get a lot of views but didn't, or a video that surprisingly got a lot of views and then maybe you tried to recreate that and it just didn't work?
when I came back onto YouTube, because when I like my last what is going on my internet right now? My last two videos I posted, or I think it was three, the ones I did in 2020, like November, so it wasn't fully like 3 years ago. Um, I started to change up what I do. I made the videos how they are, the retention time, all that extra stuff, like jumps,
Yeah,
movements, all this and this and this and this.
You edit it in the trendy way, and the thumbnail and the yeah.
Yeah, make sure it's 10 minutes so you can get that monetization or something like that. It's like I did all of that. I'm actually looking at my page right now to double check on what I'm making sure I'm saying the right things. But I thought those was gonna work and know something. And I did research on it. How like that's why my videos like how to get big on YouTube fast. That gotten 3,000 views. And the one thing I did thought when I reacted to BTS Dynamite, that didn't do nothing. Actually, when I made all those videos in 2020, I thought that's when I actually did my research to try to like these are the keywords. That's why I got the Tube Buddy stuff, the SEO stuff. To double check everything, make sure you got the right keywords, the right hashtags, the right this and right that, right. And
right colors in the thumbnail, everything.
Yeah, I got yellow everywhere. How to get big on YouTube. What the future of what? Twitter banned me. That was around the time I was real mad because Twitter banned all my accounts. And look at Twitter now with threads.
I wanted to ask you about that. Are you glad now it's like, well, I have the excuse, I'm banned, I don't have to be a part of this?
No, I'm back on there though. I mean, I've been back on there.
Okay.
I think they unbanned me like around the time I made that video because I was like disputing it. But the last 4 or 5 videos I posted on YouTube in 2020, I thought I was going to do good without putting, any work into it because it's the search engine optimization. But then if I go to my channel where I was putting most of my eggs into, it's Otaku TV, that has like 3,000 subscribers. But the videos that was working at the time was the video I made of this Power Ranger stuff. So there was a niche, there was somebody who wanted to watch it. And then when Hasbro bought the rights to Power Rangers, I wasn't making any money from that channel anymore. And then all my channels were partnered through Freedom. And then when I think around the time something was going on with my channels, they just every single one of them got rid of me. So now every channel I own, technically, but I just wish that if I go ahead and try to make the same videos or the same type of videos I did a few years ago, I don't think they will work now. I mean, podcasts, but the podcast stuff is different because like everybody's doing podcasts, but it just depends on who's doing it and the context.
Yeah.
Like if I started doing Twitch how I used to, I can become like a Andrew Tate type character just to get people to listen to me.
Oh yeah, you can everybody says like sell your soul, but another term I hear a lot is grifting, where you play a character, or you just say the more radical things to get views.
Yeah, but it seems like streaming is like more popular. Yeah. Like streaming and podcasts the most popular thing now. It's like everybody went back to like watching live TV and listening to radio again. But it's different. Yeah. It's on the internet. Like, come on.
Yeah, circular.
Like, y'all stop watching TV to go on the internet. Now y'all are technically watching TV because you're watching somebody live. Like you're watching the news.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that to maybe make it, you need to be present on all of these platforms? And do you find that daunting at all?
Excuse me. Yeah, you need to be present on all of them. Like you have to. Because it's advertising. That's why you got these people who were on YouTube at one point and they had to sell the channel, or they had to, get like what we did. Had to go to MCNs, and it's because we needed the assistant. Because you can't do it by yourself. You wanted to be part of a community that people are watching your stuff, you can collaborate with, and all this other stuff. And this is what at the time, this was the dreams that they were selling, and it's true. That's why we collaborated and whatnot. But then it's gotten to that like that stigma where everybody's trying to do the same thing. Like everybody's trying to collaborate, everybody's trying to do this, but are the people that has given us these abilities to have our channel to create all this graphics and all this other stuff on our channel, like was it worth it down the line,
right,
when we're not making any money, like like where your channel gets $1, you can't cash it out till you get $10, like what the hell is that?
You said you're slowly getting back into YouTube and stuff. Are you thinking it's just you're gonna have to, like we talked about before, like being on multiple different things to promote it? And yeah, are you looking to start up Fuavo and everything?
I mean, you gotta promote, you gotta use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. I mean, even though if you use Facebook, Instagram, Threads, it's the same thing, but like, you know, Twitter, like you gotta promote your stuff. Like, you could promote it anywhere, but it just depends on where you're promoting it to, and then if you have the right audience for it. Now, depending on the context and depending on the show type, your community pretty much can be everything. Like in my case, like I had to somehow put myself into a niche. Now, I'm not one of those guys that be like, I need to talk about everything black. I don't. Half the time I just use that as a filler to get people there. But I think the description I have for my latest one is explore the life experiences and advice in all their complexities with I'm Not Fully There, a new podcast from This is Dion 14. Join him as he navigates life as a black man in America. And each episode explores a different topic related to black culture and history and how it relates to our present day lives. Follow along as we explore the ups and downs of being black in America and how our lives are sometimes similar because sometimes we're not fully there. I didn't write this, and AI did.
Oh wow! But is that out yet, or where can people listen to this?
Apple, Spotify. Right now, that's where it's all is on. But it says Not Fully There with Dion Davis. I had to change it. I had to put this with Dion Davis because Not Fully There is like you find with the search engine optimization, you find a lot of not fully and there in the keywords. But if you put with Dion Davis, it's different.
It's specific, yeah.
No, but you gotta find a community. You gotta find the right community. And if you do, once you do that, you probably will, like, you know, everything will work out. But then people also have to collaborate with other people to get the word out. So like you either have to hop on a stream with somebody and like say, yo, look at me, I'm doing this, check me out. Some people be like, oh, look at that motherfucker, yada 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 yada, and fuck him. But then there's gonna be some people like, oh, it's pretty interesting, let me go check it out. And then they'll go check it out, and then they'll go from there. And that's how a lot of people got further into their career on Twitch or YouTube, because some people said they liked what they did, and then they started doing the same thing like that. I mean, it's promotion is the only way to get people to know things. Unless you're already famous, unless you already have some type of you got some type of status in your community. If you don't have any of those things, nobody's gonna know anything about you.
But yeah, man, I'm really glad that we were able to talk. I really appreciate you taking the time out. And yeah, again, like I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from you.
Same here. Yeah, I'm trying to put the Not Fully There podcast out like every Saturday and Wednesday, and then 100% random is whenever everybody can damn near get together and record at my damn house for like an hour or whatever. But it's a lot we got to talk about on that, like when that 100% random podcast thing. A lot of us, we haven't really. The last time we had any conversation about anything was in 2020. So between those 3 years, there's been a lot that's happened. I mean a lot. A lot has happened.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna slowly put that into my new one. It's just that this new one really, it's gonna be hard to get it put out there, because the 100% random one is like so known. Some people who actually are who are followed on it on like other platforms, they can see it, but I don't see the analytics. So it's a little hard to like keep track of who's watching what.
I've known Dion a long time now, and I've been on his podcasts over the years, and it's always so great to talk to him. He has such a wealth of knowledge of the internet and so many other topics. His links are in the description, and if you liked this video and want to see more, please give this video a like and subscribe. And you can check out more videos on screen right now, including the one where I interviewed one of the co-creators of Dora the Explorer. Thanks for watching.